All right. I've only been starting watching F1 recently, thanks to the Netflix show. There's a Netflix show of F1, and I watched it. And so I started to watch some races, and I've been watching this season of F1, and it's been exciting. So the last race came down to Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, and this situation is unbelievable. I cannot imagine any other sport being this stupid. This is the most stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life in sports, ever. And I'm sure you will agree. So, Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, whoever finishes higher in this last race wins the world title. Okay? That's the setup. All right. Lewis Hamilton is winning the race with just a few laps left. He's winning by over 11 seconds. All right? Now, when you are leading over 11 seconds with a few laps left, there is only one way you could lose. If you just crash, you just crash into a wall. That's the only way. But Lewis Hamilton, that wasn't going to happen. So, a few laps left, over an 11-second lead, someone crashes. Safety car comes out. Now, this is incredible. This is the most stupidest thing I have ever seen in my life. And if I was Lewis Hamilton, if I was Mercedes, there's no way I'm taking this. It's impossible. So the safety car comes out, and then through the safety car slowing down the cars, they allow Max Verstappen to make up the over 11-second gap. So they go to the last lap in the race. They have allowed Max Verstappen to get right next to Lewis Hamilton. At this moment, Lewis Hamilton's tremendous racing, his over 11 a second lead has been stolen from him, taken away. It doesn't matter. Now it's a one lap race. Verstappen pit stops during this whole safety car drama, gets fresh soft tires. Lewis Hamilton, how could he ever know that this is going to happen? So he doesn't pit stop for fresh tires. So this happens, and Verstappen, he wins. They call him the world champion. If Max Verstappen, if Red Bull had any class whatsoever, they would denounce this decision. They would give the title to Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes Benz because that is beyond ignorant. You're up by over 11 seconds. That is insane. Let me put it to you in a different way. This is what that would be like. Imagine the Chicago Bears are playing in the Super Bowl. This is exactly what it's like. Chicago Bears are playing in the Super Bowl. They're winning 47-17. There's 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. All right. And then there's a injured player on the field. So they allow, let's just say the Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs are allowed to go from 17 points to 47 points. And now that changes everything. Everything the Chicago Bears have done up to that point to get that huge lead has been stolen, taken away. And then the Chiefs get a field goal and they win the game. They win the Super Bowl. Or let's go basketball. The Fighting Illini in our national championship game. They're up by 30. They're up by 30 points. 3 minutes left in the second half. Player gets hurt. All of a sudden, they tell the other team, even up the points, and then whoever makes the next basket wins. The other team makes the next basket, they win the title. That is exactly what this is like. Have you ever heard of something more stupid? more foolish. I'm telling you, I'm a man of principle. If I was Max Verstappen and this is the way I was given the world title by this, after I was getting my butt destroyed by over 11 seconds, and this is what happens, I would say, no, no, I'm not the world champion. I was getting destroyed by Lewis Hamilton. He's the champion. Give it to him. Let's not play this game. That was incredibly stupid. And I can't believe this happened. So Mercedes is protesting this, of course, because not only that, in F1, there's a rule where the lap cars, all the lap cars, have to pass the safety car before you could restart the race. They only allowed 5 cars to pass the safety cars because they wanted to make sure Max Verstappen could be even with Lewis and then have one lap to overtake him. That's the bottom line. And so they're going to protest that every lap car should have been allowed to pass the safety car, which would have ended the race. Lewis Hamilton would have been world champion as he earned that race. But this is ridiculous. So if I was an F1, I guess what you do is if you have a driver who's getting destroyed, have another teammate because there's 2 teammates on the track. So if I wanted to win the championship, my teammate, I could have him crash into a wall. So let's just say I'll put it this way. If Max Verstappen was up by over 11 seconds and someone crashed and Lewis was allowed to get right next to him for one lap on fresh tires and Verstappen loses, rightfully so, Max Verstappen and Red Bull would be going crazy. They would be going crazy if that happened, and rightfully so. So I'm not an F1 expert. Like I said, this is the first year I've watched it. It's exciting, but it is stupid. This is the most stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. So, in my opinion, which doesn't matter, Lewis Hamilton is your world champion. Max Verstappen is a stolen world title holder. Once again, you cannot be leading a race for over 11-second lead and then like that have them take the lead away and have you race one lap even. What are they doing? Why doesn't the 50 something laps I did count? If that's the case, why not just have one lap races and decide it then? But anyway, that's my thoughts on it. Um, it's a shame. It's a disgrace. F1 is a joke. F1 is a joke. And I hope that this protest by Mercedes, I hope that the stewards, they call them stewards. That is like that's crazy. They call them the stewards. It sounds so ominous, like they're a shadowy figure in the background. Um, but hopefully these protests will go through and Mercedes will be given the title as they deserve. So Mercedes has launched 2 protests. And what they'll do is the stewards will watch the video, and if they see what Mercedes is claiming, then they will overturn it. That would be really crazy if they did that. But we will see what happens with this. But stewards, do the right thing. The man was leading by over 11 seconds in the race with only a few laps left. Do the right thing. Give Lewis Hamilton his earned world title. Just make it right. Listen, I'm not a fan of any F1 driver, but what I am a fan of is if you put yourself in position to win, I believe you should win. I don't believe what you've done should be erased so someone else can claim the title. That's just stupid. That is so stupid. But anyway, there it is. If anything happens, like I said, you see these, um, like this guy says it perfectly. This is my first year as an F1 fanatic. The speed, driving, the engineering was fascinating. The end of that Grand Prix ended my excitement. Um, the setup with the safety car for a drag race finish, Formula One has its fun while it lasted, that's how I'm feeling. As someone who's new to F1, this makes me not want to watch it because this is stupid. Like you guys, I hope I've given it to you in a way you can understand. Like I said, if Illinois basketball or Illinois football was up by 30, 40 points with only a few minutes left in the game, and then the referee said, let's make the score even, next point wins. Dude, there would be riots. People would riot in the streets. That's how it's insane. Absolute disgrace in F1. Yes, it is a disgrace. It is a disgrace. Um, this is pathetic. Um, feels a bit fixed. You know, is it fixed? I can't say if it's fixed, but what I can say, it's not fair. If I'm telling you right now, if I was a driver and I was up by 11 seconds, I earned that through my racing ability. And then at the last lap, you allow him to catch up to me, and then we have a drag race to the end, and he has fresh tires because he pitted, because you allowed him to do all that. Oh no, that's we're not gonna let that happen. Um, all right, that's it.